From calorie count to portion sizes, we wanted to find out all the differences between Lay's and Walker's in the US and the UK. This is Food Wars. We'll start with a quick note to explain the different names. Walker's used to be its own company and was the most popular crisp brand in the UK. Frito-Lay actually acquired Walker's in 1989, but they decided to still use the brand name in the UK, so all that brand loyalty didn't go to waste. In the UK, Walker's crisps come in 5 portion sizes: a multi-pack 25-gram bag, a 32.5-gram bag, a 45-gram bag, a 65-gram bag, and a 175-gram sharing bag.
The smallest that's in the multi-pack bag is 28 grams. Then we move up to a 78-gram bag, a 226-gram bag, and then our party size bag, 368 grams. That means our biggest bag is 110% larger than the biggest bag in the UK.
A few other things to note. In the UK, if you get a flavoured bag, it's the same weight as the ready salted version.
Whereas in the US, our flavored bags weigh less than the original flavored bags. Take this bag of salt and vinegar chips. It weighs 7.75 ounces compared to the classic regular salted 8-ounce bag. Back in 2014, PepsiCo claimed the reason there is a slightly higher price per ounce for flavor chips is the added seasoning. Okay, before we continue, they're telling us weighs less, costs more because we're adding more seasoning. Right, guys? Well, I got a question for you, PepsiCo. Ugh. What does it say there? It says lightly salted. So I understand it says less salt than these guys? Huh. Closer inspection? Right there, 7 3/4 ounces. Not the full 8. If there's less seasoning and salt in here, why is it a smaller ounce and a higher price? They're stealing my salt. Salt, literally the cheapest thing on the planet. We have a whole ocean full of it, and yet they're still skimping on it. Your move, PepsiCo. This 28-gram bag of chips supposedly has 15 chips in it, according to Lay's website. Well, they lied about the salt. What else are they lying about?
I'm going to count the crisps in this 25-gram bag for comparison.
These chips are demolished. I feel it's more than 15.
This is what we call the stoner math section of Food Wars. We do the math so you stoners don't have to.
Alright, so 1. Yeah.
There's a whole one. Little peephole. Absolute Frankenstein of a crisp, this.
Arguably not one put together chip in here. Okay, that's a chip, right?
So the issue there is that the crisps are all vastly different sizes. Like this one, just one crisp, but it's tiny, whereas this one, also one crisp, but way bigger. And we've ended up with 22.
Of all the arbitrary things we do on this show, this has to be the most arbitrary. Wow, look at that, everyone. They gave me an extra chip. 16 instead of 15.
The last thing we wanted to check was how much air you're getting in your bags. Walkers in the UK are kind of notorious for seemingly underfilling the bags. We're going to find the volume of the bag and then the volume of the crisps inside to find out just how much wasted space there is. What I need to do is carefully open a bag, just enough to let the air out, and then I'm going to try and powder these, like just crush them as far as I can, and then measure the volume of the powder in this thing.
First I gotta crumble it up.
Crushing bags with Harry.
Oh, this is like, yeah.
It's quite therapeutic. Feels like I'm giving a massage. Just like the world's worst massage.
I need something to like kind of tamp it down, you know, because the air's stuck in there. So I'll just use, oh, I don't know, this pair of nunchucks. Oh, yeah.
Now step 2 is going to be to find the volume of the bag itself. So we're going to fill the bag with water to try and find the volume. Oh gosh, oh, a tiny bit more. Perfect.
Okay.
But now I have to get it in there without spilling it everywhere. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Oh, that is perfect.
Look at that. That went pretty well. We didn't spill water everywhere.
Oh my God, it's like right to the top there. That's crazy how that worked. Okay.
Buki and Wumi are making a triumphant return. Go and watch the Oreos episode if you haven't already. Some of that. And then measure the rest.
Y'all brought number 2. Oh God, can you see like the bits of stuff floating on in there?
So according to my trusted friend percentagecalculator.net, around 90% of a 25-gram Walker's bag is wasted space.
I don't know what the math is I'm supposed to be figuring out, I forgot. But whoever's editing this, take all those numbers, and this is the conclusion. Now, that air is actually there for a reason. It's nitrogen gas, which helps preserve the chips and also acts as a cushion to stop them getting smashed in transit. I mean, imagine what it'd be like if it didn't have all that air in there. So as much air as there is in there, it's actually vitally important. If anything, they should put more air in these things, because these things, they turn into dust. Into dust.
Here are all the Walker's products from the UK that you won't find in the US.
And here's everything you can only get in the US and not in the UK. I am losing my mind, let's go!
Now we're going to start with a couple of linguistic/stylistic differences rather than anything else. For example, in the UK, we call our classic Walkers ready salted as opposed to original. I believe this is a reference to the very old days of crisps, where what you would actually get is just like a bag of plain crisp, and then you would have to add your own salt. These ones are ready salted. You don't have to add any salt, it's already on there. One stylistic difference that's worth pointing out is that in the UK, our salt and vinegar chips are green. I will say Walker's is like kind of the only brand that does that. And then we're on to some actual exclusive flavors. We'll start with this one, which is cheese and onion. Now, Americans don't have cheese and onion, which might shock a few Brits because it's one of the most popular flavors here. Instead, they have, I think, like cheddar and sour cream and onion. It just ruins your breath. Your breath smells so bad after these.
How did I get so lucky? I love chips, I love different flavors, I love trying new varieties, and I hate paying for it. So, this is perfect for me. I'm gonna start with a flavor that I never even heard of, cheddar jalapeno. Oh my God. I like the kick on these. It reminds me of the cheddar and sour cream, which I can't believe you guys don't have. This flavor took over about 20 years ago. And I don't know why it's so good, but it is good. Love this flavor. If I had to rank them though, I'll put the jalapeno above that one, the cheddar and sour cream. Sour cream and I don't even gotta open these. Sour cream and onion, classic flavor. I mean, barbecue in America is amazing. I mean, this is just a classic flavor. Oh man, fantastic. But how does that compare to sweet Southern Heat barbecue? Southern Heat. Oh yeah, I put these above these. Then we got honey barbecue. How sweet is this one gonna be? You got greedy with the sweetness. Ooh, chili lime. Yeah, dude, I've never had these before. Chilies and limes. Yeah, chilies and limes. Fantastic combination. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about these. It's like I wasn't into them before, but now I kind of can't stop eating them.
Another iconic British flavor that's also exclusive is prawn cocktail. Brits became really obsessed with prawn cocktail in like the 70s, I think it was. It just became like the sort of trendy thing to serve at dinner parties. I'm not mad about that because it is a really tasty one. It just kind of tastes like tomato-y because it would usually serve with like a tomato mayo Worcester sauce combination. Next, we've got a personal favorite of mine, which is Marmite crisps. God, I love Marmite. Marmite is fantastic. The slogan was you either love it or you hate it. And that does still ring true, I think, for most people. I'm firmly in the love it camp. Bit of tang from the amount of salt that's in there. Fantastic crisp.
Harry was nice enough to send me some of his UK exclusives, which I'm gonna look at right now. Where do I wanna start? I guess I'll start, oh no. Marmite? I don't get why people love Marmites. Ah! I mean, it tastes exactly like ass. I hear millennials like that, so maybe that's a selling point for it. They'd actually be like, tastes like ass, because the kids are into that these days, but I am not.
Then we have a couple of meaty options, which I'm surprised you guys don't have in the States. We kind of love combining crisps and meat, as it seems, starting with these roast chicken crisps. Another meaty option is these, which is smoky bacon. Then we have these ones, which are tomato ketchup flavored Walkers. In my opinion, prawn cocktail does ketchup better than ketchup does ketchup. And then for the last of our standard crisp flavors, we have pickled onion. Pickled onion's another thing that's kind of iconic to British culture in the same way that maybe prawn cocktail or Marmite are, just because it's quite traditional to find a big jar of pickled onions or pickled eggs in pubs, and you'd have one of those as like a bar snack while you're drinking your pint. The complaint I often have against like pickles and pickled onions is that they're not tangy enough, and these are very tangy, so good job, Walkers.
Puckering pickled onion. What does that mean? Puckering? Like I'm being kissed by a pickled onion? Yo, these suck.
Hey Joe, can I try some of those?
Hey Harry, try some of these great American flavors. Ah!
Thank you. Let's start with the lemon. That's what I got in my hand. Ooh, those are lemony. Woo! I don't think I've ever had a citrus crisp before. That is not something that we have in the UK. Those are good.
I gotta say, love these chips. Yeah, They score a bag of these. Chesapeake Bay Crab Seasoning Lay's. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, these are bad. Put these at the bottom. These are at my 7-Eleven. Tomato and chili flavored chips, which sounds amazing. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Sabritas, adobada, Hencho in Mexico. Oh yeah, dude. Not that spicy. They remind me kind of like a little bit like Takis. Look how red this is. Don't you think that'd be super spicy? I like that. These chip brands, they're all going after each other's throats. It is really just like guerrilla warfare. You guys don't understand what's going on in our grocery stores in this country. This is an uneasy mafia alliance in Chip City. No. Because when it's thin like these, it brings out the flavor more, if that makes sense. It's like too strong.
It turns out if you put Doritos Cool Ranch seasoning on anything, it'll taste good.
Dill pickle. So I hate pickles. Ooh. Oh, I hate them. Put these at the bottom of every list. I don't know what the Flamin' Hot dill pickle chips taste like, but the regular dill pickle chips are absolutely disgusting.
These sound phenomenal. Flamin' Hot dill pickle flavored crisps. Match made in heaven for me. You get the heat, you get that little bit of tang to kind of like cut through it. If I could take one of these four and have them in the UK permanently, these ones. One thing Walkers utilise a lot in the UK are like promotional flavours. So currently what they've got going on is one where they've partnered with 4 different restaurants from around the UK to showcase some different cuisines. So that means that we now have fish and chip flavoured Walkers, Madras curry flavoured Walkers, Thai green curry flavoured Walkers, and chicken burrito Walkers. At one point they made a Cajun squirrel flavour. I'm not making that up.
This one looks really good. Thai green curry. Think I'm gonna like this. Yuck. Yuck. Rank them down. Fish and chips. Okay, I like fish and chips. Hang on. It smells like cat food. Now I can't stop thinking about dry cat food. All right, I like fish and chips. This is the worst one. I might throw up. Crown it. This is the worst chip I've ever eaten, the worst chip I've ever reviewed, and this might be the worst thing I've ever tasted. Like, I feel like I'm on a prank show. We farted in a bag, gotcha, like, oh, you know, like.
In the UK, Walkers has a range of baked crisps, which I guess are marketed as kind of like a healthier option. These come in 4 flavours: salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, sour cream and onion, prawn cocktail.
We also have baked potato chip options, and one baked flavor you can get here, can't get in the UK, is the barbecue baked. Besides the baked, there are also these other healthier options for Lay's potato chips fans. It's known as the Better For You range of potato chips, and you can't get them in the UK, you can get them here in the US, including these, the before mentioned lightly salted chips. Besides these, you can get lightly salted barbecue, wavy lightly salted, simple sea salt thick cut, and simple barbecue thick cut. If you like crunchy chips, Lay's also has you covered. They have their kettle cooked series. Here's 4 of the flavors that I could find. Original, Flamin' Hot. You guys want me to open these? These are so red. These win the reddest chip award. Look how red these are. Ah, like my eyes. Ah! I like the flavor of these, but they're not very hot. Oh wait, yeah, they are. Oh yeah. Oh man, but kettle cooked jalapeno. I think this whole kettle chip thing was just a ruse to go after Miss Vicky's. Yep. They're like really similar, and I love those Miss Vicky chips. Sea salt and vinegar, sea salt and cracked pepper. Other kettle cooked flavors I could not get my hands on include the mesquite barbecue, the Maui onion, oh I would have loved those, and of course the reduced fat original. Sorry.
I'll start with this one, which is Max Punchy Paprika. Now, I'm surprised you guys don't have more paprika flavored crisps in the US because it's a really good flavor. I like how they have a not actual size warning on this bag, just in case you thought that one crisp was the size of your head as well. Next up, we've got Sizzlin' Flame Grilled Steak Max Crisps. Now, these ones I'm interested by. These are Max Crisps and they are Double Crunch KFC Zinger flavor. I think in the UK we have like a sort of hot chicken sandwich at KFC called a Zinger Burger. And supposedly these are flavored like that. Little Guy Fieri flames on the chip there. Yeah, pretty good.
See, the flavor is not very strong, but they're not kidding on the double crunch. This is like, I'm a man, I want to take my crunching to the max. Blah. Like, this is
If the Zinger crisps somehow weren't enough KFC for you, then we also just have a kind of standard KFC Max crisp as well. The next one we have is this fiercely flamin' hot flavor. Then we've got a few Max Strong crisps, which I think are Walker's attempt to market to quite a specific demographic, which is mostly male, a little bit older, and kind of like the blokey, laddie types. And it says like perfect with beer underneath. Like, putting the marketing to one side for a second, they come in 3 flavors, which are hot chicken wings, fiery peri peri, and jalapeno and cheese. Then our final 3 Max flavors are these 3, which are loaded cheddar and onion, bold barbecue ribs, and XXL chicken and chorizo flavored.
You can also get Lay's Wavy Chips, which is their shameless ripoff of Ruffles. And with Wavies, they come in flavors of reduced fat original, which I think are these. I brought the ranch, hickory barbecue, salt and pepper, and lightly salted. And one that I think is limited because it says in the bag, look what I found. I didn't even think Harry knows I got these. Carnitas, street tacos, Wavies. Hell yes. Whoa, smells good. Oh, it smells real good actually. Uh-oh, you're not that good. Trying to get flavored carnitas and onion and cilantro and lime all on a chip is very difficult. Good effort, guys, good attempt, but I mean...
Next up, we've got Sensations, which is Walker's range of slightly more upmarket crisps. They come with this very sleek black packaging. They have the kind of like slightly fancier flavor descriptions. So the classic Sensations come in 4 flavors, which are as follows. Got this one, which is hickory smoked cheddar and bacon. This one, which is roasted chicken and thyme, personal favorite of mine. And we've got this one, which is balsamic vinegar and caramelized onion. And a firm crowd favorite on the end here, which is Thai sweet chili Sensations. And then finally, Sensations also offer these lime and coriander chutney poppadoms.
Also in the US, you get something called stacks, which is this. It's not so much, I don't think, unique flavors, it's just a different chip vessel. Clearly, Lay's is going after Pringles. I mean, they're all going after each other, these chip brands, man. They are cutthroat. Let's find out how good of a job the stacks do protecting their chips. Did that really do that good of a job protecting these chips? Most of them are broken. Ooh, buffalo wings with ranch. All right, extra flaming hot, Yuli. Ready to turn it up? Surely you jest. These are not spicy at all. Whoa, major letdown. That's extra flaming hot, and this is Flamus Extreme. But different colors, and it's worded differently. Jesus. If you saw this color in the wild, you're in trouble. Turn around and run. Spicy chili limon. It's like, how do we make our chips worse on your palate and worse for the environment? Ta-da, stacks were born. Avoid. Other flavors I was not able to get my hands on by time of filming this. Bacon and cheddar potato skins, mesquite barbecue, and Flamus. Poppables, which is them going after Doritos 3D, and Doritos 3D, which is Doritos going after Bugles. They got 4 flavors. I got all 4. I can't believe it. Those flavors are sea salt and vinegar. Yo, what's up, Salty? Honey barbecue, white cheddar. I don't want to try these at all, but I feel like I should. What is this? It's like a little chip pie. What is the point of this? I don't like Poppables. Ugh.
We do have stacks in the UK, but they're marketed under the Doritos brand name rather than the Walker's brand name. We also used to have Poppables, but it seems like they've recently been discontinued. That said, we do have a bunch of other exclusive snacks marketed under the Walker's brand name. We'll start with What's-Its, which I think are like our equivalent of Cheetos. We used to be able to get Cheetos in the UK, but then they got taken off the shelves. Basically what we have are these like baked, cheesy puff snacks. The standard flavor is cheese, which is this blue one here, but they also come in the form of Flamin' Hot. And you can get both flavors either as a small version or as a giant version. Next up, we've got Monster Munch, which are these kind of like puffed corn maze snacks in the shape of a monster claw. And you can get them flavored with either pickled onion, roast beef, or in Flamin' Hot, which unfortunately I couldn't find today. Just like What's-Its, you can get them as the regular size or as the giant size. Next up, we've got Quavers. These are like kind of like a thin, puffed, curly snack, and they usually come flavored with cheese, but are also available as salt and vinegar or as prawn cocktail versions. And then finally, we have Squares. Squares are these like very thin, as you can imagine, square-shaped crisps, very crunchy, usually quite flavorful. I quite like those. And they come in salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, already salted.
Lay's also makes dips. Creamy jalapeno, smooth ranch dip, and of course, French onion. Yuli says cheddar and sour cream. Yeah, that's really good.
We also have a couple more crisp options sold under the Walker's brand name in the UK, which unfortunately we couldn't get today. These include French fries, Bugles, and mix-ups. Are there any questionable ingredients to look out for in your Lay's and Walker's chips?
As far as the basic salted version of Lay's chips go, we're fine. Both in the US and the UK, they're simply made up of potatoes, vegetable oil, and salt.
But when you venture into other flavors, things can get a little more interesting. For example, in the UK, several of our flavors contain potassium chloride. In normal doses, this is a perfectly safe, low-sodium alternative to salt. However, it's also one of the 3 ingredients used in the 3-drug cocktail for lethal injections. Enough potassium chloride in your system will lead to an irregular heartbeat and a cardiac arrest.
We don't have that in our USA Lay's, but we do have caramel color in our barbecue and honey barbecue chips. Caramel color. It is a widely used food coloring, and it's also a controversial one. Certain types of caramel color can contain a byproduct called 4-ME uppercase I. That's not an L. Studies show that it caused cancer in rats and mice, leading to campaigns in support from banning it in foods. Makes sense. The FDA stopped short of banning it, claiming that humans don't come close to levels of exposure that cause the rats' tumors. Sounds like a challenge. But that didn't stop the state of California adding it to its Proposition 65 list of chemicals, quote, known to the state of California to cause cancer or reproductive toxicity, end quote.
Another fun thing to note is that our smoky bacon and roast chicken crisps are actually both suitable for vegetarians. The flavoring is just made up of other things and doesn't include any meat extract. Which country has the least healthy crisps? Let's compare the classic first.
A 28-gram bag of classic Lay's in the US contains 160 calories.
If we scale up the UK's 25-gram bag to account for that extra 3 grams, 28 grams of UK ready salted would contain 147 calories. So per gram, the UK's crisps are healthier in every metric.
Okay, fine, but what about the least healthy chip in each country? Over here, a lot of them are tied at 160 calories per 28-gram bag. But we did find that of the 160 calorie chips, the highest fat content are in the cheddar and sour cream, obviously the smaller bags. That makes them the least healthy.
The least healthy crisps in the UK are the strong hot chicken wings Max crisps. 28 grams of these would contain. Honestly, my main takeaway from this is that crisps might not be as unhealthy as I thought they were. You could eat like 10 multi-pack bags of the ready salted, and the only daily limit you would have exceeded would be your fat intake.
Yes, Harry, I believe that's called death by deliciousness. I live by the motto, live fast, die fat, and leave a salty corpse. It's actually my LinkedIn headline.
Have you ever seen that thing about how, if you look at the KFC logo, it looks like a stick man body with the head of Colonel Sanders on it?
Is there anything worse when you're hungry and you're like, I'm gonna try something new and it stinks? You don't even stop being hungry because you're full, you're like no longer hungry because it tasted so bad? Oh, that's the worst. That's this.
I don't know if XXL is referring to the crisps, the size of the packet, or the chickens that they're using.
How red that chip looks like.